All right, so we are here with another championship transformation. I have a client that just finished his 6 weeks with us, very successful, but I'm going to let him tell his story. What is your name?
Yeah, my name is Justin.
Justin. How old are you, Justin?
I'm 26.
And what do you do for work?
Yeah, so I work as a financial consultant for a fintech company in downtown.
Okay, so I'm assuming it's an analyst in front of the computer, maybe very inactive, that sort of job.
Exactly. It's one of those, work from homes or go to the office when you're sitting down all day, um, oftentimes hours on end, but aside from lunch. So it's really, really bad for overall health and everything.
Okay, so the good news is you found us and you did our 6 week challenge. But before you did it, like, kind of talk to me about like what your health and what your fitness was like before joining our program.
In terms of habits, in terms of uh, getting into the zone of workouts and general fitness, I think I had something going on. I went to the gym about three-ish times a week, went on walks often. I did really struggle with the foods I was eating, and that was kind of where I reached out for some help with Fight Fitness.
Okay, cool. So you were active. You're working on 3 days per week doing strength. You're doing walks, which is great, like low intensity cardio. But the nutrition is where you struggled with. Kind of what was your diet like?
The diet was kind of anything that was available to me at the time. Sometimes the parents would just make uh, a lot of carb heavy diets with a lot of rice, or sometimes they'll just buy some Jollibee or something. And it wasn't very balanced, I would say.
Hmm.
And I think the biggest thing or the biggest change was the lack of vegetables that I had. I realized how little vegetables I was eating.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I always find clients fall into two categories. Either there's something like that gets them to actually start to do a program. It's either like something happened where they looked at themselves, or somebody, they saw somebody and they're like, oh, I don't want to look like that. Or over time they just, it nagged at them. Which one were you? Or was it something that always bothered you, or was it like one event that was like, I gotta make a change?
Um, I guess there wasn't one event that gave me that change. I think it was just over time, just thinking about like I've been doing fitness, trying to get like a better physique or better general health and everything, and I wasn't at the level that I wanted to be. And I kind of identified that the root, not cause, but just something that was in the way of me getting into my goals would be food. Since
Gotcha.
my relationship with food hasn't been, I wouldn't say healthy, but wasn't like the best or the most optimized in terms of getting to my goals.
Mhm, mhm. So, okay, so it sounds like it was something over time you realized, you identified food is where your struggle was at. So let's talk about the challenge. You finished the challenge. What were some of your results? Like, let's start the measurement side of things. What were some of your scale victories, we'll call them?
Yeah, so while I was before the challenge, I would say I was teetering around 170 pounds. And there was I did try like cutting, I did try probably unsuccessfully, um, going to the gym more often in terms of cardio and everything, but it just wouldn't go down. After the challenge, I am now at 156 pounds, so it's full 14 pounds. So that's pretty, I'd say that's a pretty good victory.
Yeah.
And the thing that even today, when I went to the gym earlier in the morning, um, I could lift the same as before I did the 6 week challenge. So that kind of told me that, okay, maybe I still retain some of that muscle mass, but what what the heck did I lose? So that was a really promising sign.
That's huge. 14 pounds. Not only that, you still maintain the same strength levels, which is awesome. That was going to be my next question, is in non-scale victories, things that you could maybe not measure, but maybe talk about your energy levels or anything like that that's you felt has changed since you've improved your diet.
Yeah, so since I improved it, I found myself much more energetic. less kind of like that greasy feeling that you sort of get after eating uh like fried chicken, for example, like from Popeyes or Jollibee, getting that greasy feeling. I didn't really have that. But I felt more focused. I felt more energetic throughout the day. Um, and yeah, generally just in a better mood.
Good. Beauty. So it's funny, and then you're in the Philippines right now, so you're gonna be eating a little bit more greasy foods, but
A
energy
little
is
bit, yeah.
a little bit,
I
but you
think
know better now. Sounds like
I do. I think I planned the 6 week challenge so that it would end when I left for the Philippines.
yeah,
So I know food is a huge part of every culture, which is kind of why didn't want to restrict myself too much. But with that being said, with myself being a part of the challenge, I do have a more awareness of what I'm putting into my body. So I'm gonna try to uh, focus a lot more on like upping my protein intake, trying to find some way to get some fiber into my system.
yeah,
And even other things that I did that I asked my cousins to do was I looked up any Philippines protein powder vendors, and I had them order it for me, and it's actually with me right now. So I have like this ube flavored protein powder that I'm using every day, um, all just because of the inspiration from this challenge.
love it, love it. So you're already taking out habits that you built in the challenge and keeping it consistent after post challenge as well is awesome. Um, Learnings. I know you talked a little bit about protein being one of the habits that you know you're maintaining, but was there any other learnings that you got from the meal plan that you felt like you're going to keep continuing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Cooking. So cooking and meal prepping, that's definitely a big skill that I love that I have now. I didn't really cook as much before the challenge, but since I was kind of forced to, especially considering the fact that my meals were going to be vastly different than the rest of my family, I had to somehow provide for myself and exploring with the different recipes that you got, or even exploring with my own. Uh, I think is a really great skill because now I think I'm at a level where I can look into a fridge and be like, oh, maybe I can just try this, put some stuff together with the ingredients that I have and make something uh, pretty good and pretty healthy.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Um, the workout side of things, you know, obviously you came from strength training, you did workouts at the gym, then you started doing our group fitness classes. Um, Anything that surprised you about our group fitness classes that you liked and enjoyed?
Yeah, I really did enjoy like the whole community aspect. Something that was very unique but very welcome was the whole tradition of everyone getting into a circle and introducing themselves, uh, going around. That was pretty fun. I'm not a stranger to fitness, so I've been weightlifting a lot. Before Fight Fitness, I was a part of another boxing club, so that part wasn't too much of a surprise. But I do like the community aspect, and something that I also did really appreciate is that the coaches um, kind of remembers your name. So I think that was like a small little thing, a part of this gym that I didn't find anywhere else, uh, and I really appreciated that.
Love it. I'm glad that you felt welcome. That's what you want to make fitness as inclusive as possible. So I'm glad you felt included. Last question. It's a two-part question. Number one, when you were sitting there about to do the challenge, was there any skepticism about it and the results that you would get? And number two, what would you say to somebody that, you know, maybe in the same position that feels that skepticism?
So the first question in terms of skepticism, I had a little bit. Um, how could just admit like a mere 6 weeks get these results? But I was willing to go along with it because I saw those pictures, like the pictures don't lie, from week or from day zero to the end of the challenge. And I'm like, this is, I mean, the results are right in front of me. It worked for other people. So I thought like if I committed, why wouldn't it work for me?
And it did. And it sounds like that's the exact same thing you would tell somebody else.
Yeah. So then I see my own pictures and I'm like, oh, okay, it actually did work. So yeah.
There you go. Love it. Awesome, Justin. I'm pumped about your transformation. 14 pounds, more energy, still lifting the same, and still now continuing with habits moving forward, which is awesome. Even while you're traveling in the Philippines, still maintain the habits. And really, that's the true transformation. I mean, numbers aside, it's really the change in who you are, your habits, all those things. That's the real transformation. So congrats, and thanks for sharing your story.
Awesome.
Thanks.